What with all the North Korea madness at the moment, it makes sense in these waning hours of nuclear safety that we should make fun of the country who's having a bit of a meltdown at the moment. That's the Whatculture way, it's what we do to cope. So remember when The Interview came out and North Korea got mad, calling the flick terrorism that would not be tolerated, and then Sony got hacked and a load of emails and finances got leaked? Well, the reason they got so knocked off with it was because they hold cinema in extremely high regard. How high, I hear you mumble to yourself? Well, I'll tell you in list form. It's the Whatculture way, it's what we do. With this in mind, I'm Jules for Whatculture.com, and these are 7 examples that prove North Korea takes its movies too seriously. Yes, it's a weird list, but it's just a bit of fun. You're welcome. Number 7. Kim Jong Il owned over 20,000 VHS tapes and DVDs. Now, it's quite common for a head of state to have a screening room in his or her official residence. Being a huge movie buff, Kim Jong Il was no different, but Kim definitely got more use out of his than most other world leaders. In the 2013 documentary Aim High in Creation, it was revealed that Kim owned over 20,000 VHS tapes and DVDs that were kept in an air-conditioned vault in the basement of his palace. Most of the movies were American, and Kim said that his favourite actors were Sean Connery, because he was a big James Bond fan, and Elizabeth Taylor. Despite running a country, Kim apparently found plenty of time to watch movies, and claimed that he watched every movie that won the Best Picture Oscar. He must have been proud of it, because he told US diplomat Wendy Sherman that during nuclear negotiations rather than talking about making the world a safer place. What the fuck? Number 6. Kim Jong-il was often credited for improving North Korean movies. During his regime, it was common for KCNA reports on North Korean films to praise Kim Jong-il's contributions to those movies. In most of these cases, Kim received credit for the success of the entire production. For example, an August 2006 KCNA article on the film A Schoolgirl's Diary noted that although Kim was busy with his continuous inspection tour of frontline army units, he nonetheless worked on the film and improved its script and guided its production to become a masterpiece of the time. The article makes no mention of the director, writer, or actors in the movie. Similarly, in April 2009, the KCNA credited Kim with the idea that the lead character of the film A White Gem Part 1 and 2 would wear white. I mean, it's in the f***ing name. I thought that would be a given. But no, he alone was credited with the entire style direction of the film. Number 5. Kim Jong-il wrote books on cinema theory. Since Kim Jong-il was presented as a master filmmaker because of all of his contributions to North Korean film, it was only natural that he would share his expert knowledge of cinema with his people. And by share, I mean that he attributed with writing over 1,000 books and speeches about filmmaking. That's too many books. He is in literal Garth Marenghi territory in that he's probably written more books than he's f***ing read. There are way too many funny quotes to pull from these gems, plus I really don't want to read them all, but my favourite is this. To revolutionize direction means to completely eradicate capitalist elements and the remaining dogmatism from the realm of directing. I doubt this is a tactic that will be followed by anyone in Hollywood. Number 4. A movie that North Korea co-produced with a US producer still attacks the US. Though North Korea has occasionally co-produced films with other countries, for example, the 2012 North Korean film Comrade Kim Goes Flying was co-produced by the United Kingdom and Belgium. Go us. You wouldn't be foolish for thinking that working with American sorts is probably out of the question for diplomatic reasons. Well, it's true, apart from there is one lone exception, that is the 2012 film The Other Side of the Mountain, which was produced by Jun Bai, a North Korean-born American businessman and philanthropist who hoped that he could make a film that would bring a message of peace to all Koreans. The epic is set during the Korean War and is about a wounded South Korean soldier falling in love with a North Korean nurse. Although Bai financed the film, the script had to be approved by the North Korean government, and naturally, it is filled with disparaging depictions of the United States. In particular, the climax of the film features US soldiers burning a tunnel full of hundreds of North Korean women and children. So yeah, that was nice and balanced. Number 3. North Korea asked another country to ban Team America World Police. Believe it or not, even though Team America pretty much treated North Korea like a piñata, the country offered no official condemnation of the film. Sure, they blocked the film from being released in their country, but they did little else. Well, that is apart from asking the Czech Republic to ban the film in their region as well. For some reason. It's really weird. They didn't ask this of any other country, but for some reason they really didn't want Czech audiences to see it. Unsurprisingly, this request was denied. Number 2. North Korea made a 20-hour-long spy epic featuring American defectors. Unsung Heroes, aka Nameless Heroes, is a 20-hour-long movie in 20 parts that was released from 1973 through 1981 and was about spies during the North Korean War. It's an espionage adventure drama that tells the heroic true, air quotes, true story of North Korea's actions during the war. What makes this serial so significant, besides the sheer length, is the cast. Playing the villainous Americans and British personnel who supposedly masterminded the Korean War were 4 American soldiers who had defected to the country in the 1960s to escape the Vietnam War. When the film was finally acquired by the US government in 1996, it proved that the 4 soldiers had been living in North Korea years after their defections. Of course, using actual Americans to play villainous Americans in Unsung Heroes was a high point for North Korea's movie propaganda machine, and the American air quotes actors became huge celebrities in North Korea because of their performances. And number 1, Kim Jong Il kidnapped a South Korean director so he could make movies for him. Nothing about North Korea's obsession with cinema is more absurd than when Kim Jong Il ordered the kidnapping of a South Korean filmmaker and his actress ex-wife in order to have them make movies that would prove to the world the righteousness of North Korean ideals. Yes, you heard that right. So basically, Shin Sang-ok's wife Cho I-hun was on holiday in Hong Kong and went missing. After going looking for her, Shin also went missing. They were both imprisoned and forced to make 7 films throughout 1983 to 1986. Eventually, both would escape while on a business meeting in Vienna, and both returned to South Korea to continue making films. Now see, the weirdest thing, for me at least in this, is that you'd have thought that after going back, after seeing all that they'd seen, that they'd probably make a movie sort of going about that, sort of like being under a fascist rule, or how there's lots of poverty there. But no, he went on to make 3 films about ninjas. That just raises more questions than it answers. And that's our list. Got any more strange North Korean facts about films that you want to share? Well, let me know about them in the comments section below. And why not swing by Whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. As always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon.